So the Angry Birds movie 2 is coming out, and it's currently now the highest rated video game movie of all time, being Detective Pikachu as the highest rated video game movie of all time, a movie based off a video game at 81%. But the weird thing is, the movie has an audience rating. The movie is not out yet. It's coming out in like 3 days. It's coming out in 2 days. So who is reviewing the movie exactly? Because if you look at, you can't it's not released yet. So how are people rating the movie when the movie's not out yet? It makes no sense, okay? If someone can like explain this to me, how people are rating this movie before it comes out, because if you look at another movie that comes out, it's not has the same rating. It's probably gonna get it's just the scores probably go up by this because a lot of people probably gonna take the kids and enjoy this. The first movie is pretty funny. Angry Birds movie 1, it's pretty funny. The first one. And the second, and this one will probably be as funny as will be really funny as well. Um, I thought the first movie was like really funny as well. It's about the birds and the pigs teaming up to beat the birds who want to freeze the world. It doesn't really have much of a storyline like the first movie. It's like the games and the movies. And it's really it's like the Rampage movie. The Rampage movie was actually very similar to its source material. Actually, I'm someone who's actually familiar to if its source material Rampage. Rampage is basically about monsters that become bigger. No, not monsters. Animals that become very big and become basically monsters and destroy the city. And I think the movie Rampage was very true to its material. And I like the movie Rampage. It was very much like source material. It was dumb fun. It was exactly what I expected it to be. It was the storyline was actually decent. It wasn't bad, unlike the Mario Brothers movie, for example, and the other movie, Assassin's Creed. The Angry Birds movie is just another movie that's just funny. First one, it's actually pretty similar. It's actually very much like its source material, and the critics are actually giving this better reviews than the first one, which is pretty weird because they gave the movie the first one a 40%. It seems like the critics are probably saying like, oh, it's not this movie is actually pretty great. It's as 81, it'll probably decline to like a 70%. But Angry Birds Movie 2 had a pretty high score on Rotten Tomatoes. It actually has a higher score than the original highest rated video game movie that also came out this year, Detective Pikachu. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Which has a 68% and 80% audience of people liked it. At 90%, but it's now at 80%, which means it's your average blockbuster review. It still has a higher score than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm just telling you guys that because reasons. It has a higher score than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Midsommar was a movie that the critics have been trying to shove down your throat, saying how great those movies were, but those movies have way lower scores than Detective Pikachu, which was like underground, which actually was a pretty was a moderate success at most. It wasn't the massive success like Endgame was or anything. It still was in the top 10 highest grossing movies of the year as well. It's also the second highest grossing video game movie of all time, only being behind the Warcraft movie because of how well it did in China. But the Angry Birds movie 2 might not be as bad as some people might think it is. Some people are always dismissing it off as like the worst movie of the year, like the first one. But it probably won't be that bad. It'll probably be very funny like the first one.